do, boo, boo. Hey everybody, welcome to Aimee Nolte Music. I'm reviewing an app today and it's called Pitch Bop. And what I was doing just now, well, it was pretty hard, but that's the gist of it. That's kind of what you do on the app. It's an ear training app and it's developed by my friend Antonis, who also developed the Genius Jam Track app that I reviewed a few years ago. The way that the app works is with a call and response model, which is always a really good way to teach people. So as you can hear, the app plays you something, and then you play or sing it back into your phone, and it tells you how good your accuracy was. When you first download the app and you go into it, it gives you an option. You can choose your instrument. I've done voice right now, but mostly I've practiced this app on the piano. You can choose whatever instrument you want, and then the app immediately knows the range for that instrument. So if you play clarinet, it'll know what your low note is and what your high note is. If you're a tenor, it knows what your range is. There's even an instrument transposition feature. You can adjust your concert pitch to a transposed pitch if you need to. Not only do you get to set your instrument, you get to set your preference of how hard you want it to be. Actually, when you first enter the app, you get a test that kind of right away, it just gives you a little ear test so that the app knows where to place you at the level that it just assessed you at. As you could hear, there was a pulse. There's also a waveform with the pulse. So you can see how fast the beat goes by. You can also see the waveform, and that's helpful sometimes. So you've got these 4 beats and some little pattern that happens within the 4 beats. Boo, 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 boo. And then you can actually see where the waveform happens in relation to where the beat's at. So sometimes it gets back around to 1, and I've kind of forgotten what the rhythm is a little bit, especially if it's a complicated one. And seeing the waveform helps me to be able to match, actually. I like that aspect of it a lot. Also, it's not the kind of thing that you can just press replay on and listen and try again. It's trying to make you be a player. It's got beats, and every 4 beats that come around, boom, it's your turn. So it gives there's a little pressure on. It's not always pressure. There is game mode. If you click the button at the top that says Dr. Bop's Game, it turns into game mode, and you know because the text turns orange. It's a little problematic right here because the phrase practice mode, it will still be visible to you underneath it. As long as it's not orange, you're in game mode. So whatever is in orange is what mode you're in. I think they're going to work on that on the next update. You can also choose how hard you want to work your ears. You can choose major, and then it just works you on your major scale notes. You can choose any of the modes, Dorian or Phrygian or Lydian, but it doesn't even stop there. It can quiz you on dominant Lydian if you'd like. It's got altered scales. It's got the different diminished, half whole and whole half scales, the whole tone scale. And then there's just one that I like a lot called minor harmony. That's the one I was doing at the beginning. But there's all these different areas where you can test your hearing. And it's nice because sometimes, there's 20 different examples in a row. But after you've heard 10 examples in the Lydian mode, your ear just kind of acclimates to it and you understand what Lydian sounds like. So it's a good tool to teach you what a certain mode or scale sounds like in general. You can also customize your level. So if you want the rhythms to be very easy, you can customize your rhythmic complexity level and make it pretty low. You can make your pitches more difficult if you want. So there are 2 levels. You can adjust your pitch complexity and your rhythmic complexity. It can get pretty nuts if you go all the way up on both of them. It's a little hard for me. In practice mode, you have a little more control over all the variations that you can mess around with. You can make your root note whatever you'd like it to be. Also, it'll always tell you what note you're going to start on. You can change what you want your lowest pitch to be or your highest pitch to be. Like maybe you're an alto, but you just can't hit that low F today, so you change it to a G. No sweat, bro. You can say whether or not you want it to always start on the root. It doesn't have to. You can say how many calls you want per session. You can also choose whether or not any chromatic notes get added to whatever scale you're working on. I think that's a nice option. That's in practice mode, you can control that. Sometimes people ask me when I'm taking requests on like my live YouTube videos, how do you know how to play a song without having the music in front of you? And a lot of it is about pitch recall. Just knowing the melody to something and being able to hear it in my head and then recreate it on the piano is huge. And I haven't found many ways that you can really work on that. But I think these short phrases, just in the parameter of one bar at a time, they do it. It's Dr. Bop. Dr. Bop does it, then you do it. Dr. Bop does it, then you do it. It's somebody giving you idea after idea after idea. You can also choose whether you want the ideas to be swinging or straight. I guess it's where they got the name. You're working on your pitch, and at the same time, you might even be working on your bebop chops. The app was just launched, so updates will follow, and you might find a glitch or two here or there. From what I've found, that doesn't happen very often. And it's just really fun to play. I even sat my son down with it in his hand, and he kept saying, "Raise the level, Mom, raise the level, Mom." And he was doing great. I kind of had to pry my phone out of his hands because he wouldn't stop. When you're finished, you'll see your score. You can see your average success rate, how many calls were given, how many perfect responses you replied with. I'm going to head over to the piano and show you what it looks like on pitch complexity 5, rhythmic complexity 5. I find that more often than not, it's pretty forgiving, especially for rhythm. If I barely miss something by like a fraction of a 16th note or 8th note, it usually gives me the benefit of the doubt and tells me I got 4 out of 4 or 5 out of 5. I missed one for you on purpose right there so you can see how it scores. I just missed one note, it gave me a 3 out of 4. But it's nice to be able to check your accuracy and to play, little games with yourself. Can I get better than 91% this time? Can I get better than 92? You could even pass it around at a party for all your extra hip friends and have hours of fun. The app costs $7. It's available for both iOS and Android. And I think it's absolutely worth your money. No matter your instrument, if you're able to hear what somebody plays and immediately recall it, it's going to help you with your live improvisation. It's going to help you in your transcribing. It's going to help you in ear training and dictation class for sure. It'll help you be a better musician. That's the main reason to do it. It'll just help you be a better musician. It'll help your ears get bigger. I mean, I've only been using it for like a week, and check these babies out. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you download the app. Tell me about how you like it in the comments, and I'll see you next time on Aimee Nolte Music.